למעשה, רק לידיעתכם, אני טיפה אתן הרחבה. נכון, מלחמת העולם השנייה הסתיימה. וזה נראה כאילו שגרמניה נוצחה, ואכן, כפי שאמרתי, היא נוצחה מיליטנטית, אבל היא לא נוצחה מיליטנטית. אמרתי, קונספטואלית היא לא נוצחה, אבל מיליטנטית היא נוצחה, אבל זה, עוד פעם, גם כן לא, אני לא חותם על זה 100% שהיא נוצחה, זה היסטוריה שאתם מכירים, היסטוריה שסיפרו לכם. ההיסטוריה האמיתית, שגם נעלמה מרוב הציבור, נמשכת. מלחמת העולם השנייה אומנם מסתיימת ב-1945, וב-1946 משפטי נירנברג, אבל ב-1947 אחד מהגנרלים, שזה אדמירל ריצ'רד בירד, הוא אדמירל בחיל האוויר האמריקאי, באיירפורס, טס מעל אנטארקטיקה. והוא, תוך כדי טיסה, הוא רואה באנטארקטיקה, בתוך השלג האינסופי, בונקר שנראה בצורה של קווסטיקה, שנראה בצורה של צלב קרס. הוא מבין שהגרמנים נמצאים באנטארקטיקה והם השיגו את האמריקאים להגיע לאנטארקטיקה, והם עדיין נמצאים שם. הוא בא ומדווח לנשיא ארצות הברית ששולח אותו למבצע חיסול של הגרמנים. הוא לוקח איתו כוח צבא מאוד גדול, כ-5,000 חיילים, הוא לוקח איתו ספינות מלחמה, הוא לוקח איתו מטוסים, לוקח איתו צוללות, ולמעשה הוא לא מספר את האמת לעם האמריקאי. יש רעיון איתו, אפשר לראות את הרעיון איתו עם אדמירל ריצ'רד בירד, ישן מאוד, משנת 1947, כשהוא עומד, זה שחור לבן, סרט מאוד ישן, אבל זה עדיין מופיע ביוטיוב, אפשר לראות את זה.
Is there an explanation for the incredible UFO reports outside of the United States? An explanation that may also lead to Nazi engineers. Of all the conspiracies surrounding Nazi UFOs, the most controversial is the idea that some Nazis escaped the fall of Germany, along with the advanced saucer prototypes. Evidence clearly shows that a number of prominent SS officers did escape the Allies.
In extreme southern Latin America, particularly Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, there are to this day huge German reservations.
One man who never surfaced again was General Hans Kammler, head of Germany's World War II secret weapons program. If anyone knew the truth about saucer technology, it was him. On April the 17th, 1945, Kammler sent his last telegram. In it, he refuses a request from the head of the SS, Heinrich Himmler, for a Junkers truck. Why would Himmler want a truck? Why would Kammler refuse a request from his superior? Some experts believe truck was the code name for the massive six-engine Ju-390, a plane capable of flying nearly 10,000 kilometers non-stop. Only two were built, and Kammler had one. After the war, his Ju-390 was never found. Did Kammler use this massive transporter to escape? If he did, where was he going, and what was he taking? In 1945, a sudden surge of UFO sightings occurred in South America. Had the Nazi engineers found a new base?
There were thousands of sightings in the years immediately following the war, much more so than in North America, which indicates the possibility that the Nazis flew to South America and continued operating their craft from their bases there.
The president of Argentina, Juan Perón, approved 1,000 passports for Nazi scientists and engineers. War criminals Klaus Barbie and Adolf Eichmann were both traced to South America. Reimar Horten, Nazi flying wing pioneer, moved to Argentina in 1948. Ever since, the trail of UFO sightings has grown throughout South America, just as it has in the United States. But there's no hard evidence to say that these die-hard Nazis were joined by Kammler or any disc engineers. where else could Kamla have gone? Incredibly, many reports claim that Kamla and a team of saucer scientists escaped to Antarctica at the end of World War II.
There have been stories that the Germans were attempting to build a permanent colony in Antarctica. We know for sure that there was the 1938-39 German Antarctic expedition, which did claim a chunk of Antarctica for Germany, and that the Germans did excel in building secret underground bases.
The Antarctica conspiracy is reinforced by US naval operations in the region in 1946, just a year after the war's end and a year before the Roswell crash.
Operation High Jump was one of the more amazing pieces of this story. Admiral Byrd, America's most famous Arctic explorer, led an expedition to the South Pole in 1947. It was the largest armada ever sent to Antarctica. 13 ships, 4,700 men. The armada included a brand new state-of-the-art aircraft carrier, a submarine, several destroyers, dozens of aircraft, fixed and rotary wing aircraft.
Officially, High Jump's mission was to assess how American troops would cope if the Soviets invaded through Antarctica. Unofficially, Admiral Byrd had also been asked to investigate any Nazi presence in the region.
Operation High Jump was outfitted for 8 months worth of supplies. They could have been in Antarctica doing their thing for 8 months, and they were only there for 16 weeks, and then packed up and hastily left with no explanation ever given as to why the sudden aborting of the mission.
Rumors quickly sprang up. The Armada had run into serious trouble, come up against something or someone. Admiral Byrd's comments helped fuel the controversy.
Afterwards, Byrd apparently said some very strange things to reporters on the way back, including that the United States needs to be prepared to fight a war against aircraft that can fly from pole to pole at tremendous speeds. This is taken as evidence that he did indeed run into Nazi disc aircraft that outperformed his guys, and that the sudden turning tail and running is taken as evidence that there was some sort of a confrontation, some sort of a battle.
The Nazi UFO conspiracy is complex, compelling, and circumstantial. In 1944, Allied pilots saw UFOs over Germany. Deep underground, the Nazis were building top-secret airframes and propulsion systems. At the war's end, the SS general in charge vanishes without a trace. His scientists, their research and prototypes are captured by the US military and shipped to the States. 2 years later, the first wave of UFO sightings occurs across America. Are these, in fact, US prototypes of a captured Nazi H-9 flying wing? In the late 1950s, the US Air Force funds the Avrocar, a flying saucer that looked like a Nazi secret project called the Repulsive. And in 1965, a UFO-like object crashed in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. It's reportedly bell-shaped and covered with distinctive markings, just like a radical Nazi device that may have been built at the end of the war. It's a trail of evidence that leads right to the very heart of the UFO conspiracy. Did the Nazis build successful saucer prototypes? Did the US government and other nations develop them in secret? Are all these sightings human-engineered craft? Will the world's governments ever reveal the truth behind the presence of UFOs in our airspace?
לעוד תכנים להיכנס לדפדפן orevlevan.com, פייסבוק וטלגרם. השאלה היא, האם לקבל או להתנגד לשעבוד?